Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host, Maximilian Moreau, and with me is my co-host, Philip Wilson.
Hello, everyone.
So, on our last episode, what we've got going on here is we have a space shooter. We can shoot, we can move, we can shoot. The camera now follows our plane a little bit. Kind of gives the world a little bit more of a big feel. We may have to actually increase the movement speed a little bit. So our bullets collide with the little things here. You get score going underneath the arches now. We don't have collision and damage. We've been kind of lax on that so far. But we can. It's one of those things that we've kind of done in a few other projects. So I kind of figure you guys may know how to do it. But we're gonna touch on it obviously. This episode, I want to actually work on a second stage. I want to bring this project kind of a little bit more depth than our previous ones, where we kind of have a completed game project at the end that's not just a one style of gameplay. This is still going to be a rail shooter the whole way through, but we have a little idea that we want to do for stage 2 and stage 3 that I think will be interesting. So we're going to be working on stage 2 today, and possibly the transition to it. So the idea that we have, so originally we were going to have, I was thinking about like Star Fox, the end of like Venom stage where you go into the planet's core and you destroy the boss. But I was playing a game called Stealth. Well, not playing. I was watching a playthrough of the game Stealth for the Commodore 64. And I hadn't seen this game before actually. And it's a game where it's a little forward-scrolling shooter like this, except for they have a tower in the background, and you have to basically get close enough to the tower to destroy it with your shots. And you don't actually like do anything that interesting stuff, but it's kind of it creates this monolith in the background, so you have an idea of how far you've progressed in the level. And I want to bring that into this game. I think it'll be kind of interesting. So we're going to put a tower in the background that will become more obvious as we come up to it. And then what we're going to do is actually fly up the tower. So you're going to get to the base of it, and then you're going to fly straight up it. I don't know why you wouldn't just use your jet and fly to the top from a angle several miles away, but you know, maybe they have some sort of perimeter defense or something. I don't know. Well, you know, you can make excuses for whatever. It's good gameplay regardless. So let's go ahead and so what we had before. I think I created a prefab of this for the tower. Did we end of level structure? So I was creating some sort of weird cube-based end of level structure. Phil is currently modeling a tower for us. We're going to be using a simple stand-in right now, which is just going to be the cylinder. And so I'm just going to drag this in. This is just a very basic cylinder model that even I, as a programmer, was able to export from a 3D object thing, whatever you call those things, modeling programs. So
I hardly call myself a modeler, though. So
well, you're modeling right now. You're modeling more than I've ever modeled. So
that doesn't mean
it means something.
It means a little bit.
I've modeled
it means a little bit, but I'm no artist.
Well, that'll change.
No, it won't.
Okay, fine. So I'm gonna create a new prefab. So I didn't tell you what I was doing. So new prefab. We're dragging the cylinder model into it. I'm gonna call this tower. I'm gonna call it Ghetto Tower.
You get it.
I'm gonna get here. All right, and we're going to throw this into our. Wait, do we have a? There we go. Prefabs folder, so that we don't get confused. And the reason we don't just drag the model into the scene is it will work, but it's possible if you change the file or something that all of the changes that you've made in Unity will blow up. So I'm going to just delete this end of level structure. We're going to throw our. Okay, I want to check the import settings here too. So cylinder, we don't care about that. We don't care. Okay, so apply. We don't care about import animation. Apply. And I want the scale to be 1. I don't know why it defaults to so low. And I think we want to calculate the normals and apply. I don't know why that thing's saying anything about that. So now we're going to grab our Ghetto Tower and throw it in the scene. Whoa. Okay. That's kind of weird.
Whoa there.
Alright, so, wow, it already is pretty big. Cool. That works for me. I have no idea what the scale is in...
Wow.
maybe that's the reason that it defaults here. What is the 0.01? Does that make it look more like a 1 unit thing? Or is that way small?
I don't know.
Here, let's make a cube and find out.
It's,
Okay, that's the right scale. Okay,
so
so
0.01 is the correct scale for what you exported.
what I exported it from, it worked out fine. So I'm going to do 0.01. We're still going to make it gigantic at some point. I just
This one will not be that way.
Yeah.
The one that I'm making, because I'm using Blender, and Blender doesn't.
Matter of
seem
fact, I
to
think
do
I
that.
will still do that. I think I'm going to do 0.5 scale. Apply. So there we go. So there's our tower, and we're just going to make it tall. I'm just going to make it Y100. Why not? Yeah, that goes into space. All right. Actually, we're probably going to adjust this in code so that it looks like it's coming in from the horizon. So what I think I'm going to do is, yeah, like I said, I'm going to actually attach this. So remember, when we play the game, the plane itself, this thing, not our ship. The ship is the ship, the plane is the plane. We're gonna keep that terminology so that we don't get too confused. But it travels through the world, so we could put this where we want it and then eventually get to it. And I'm not saying that we won't do that. But we can also attach it to this and kind of have it in the background and then kind of grow it as we go. And I think that might actually look better for the approach. And then we'll handle something for when we actually come up to the tower. So let's put the tower in the background. So I'm going to attach it to the gameplay plane for right now. And we're going to put it off in the distance. So I'm going to just put it the Z. So let's put 0, 0 to start with. Let's make it. Actually, that doesn't even matter that much. So I'm just going to put the Z out at 1000. And I'm going to go ahead and raise this to, let's do 100 and just see how that looks for just a test here. So yeah, we have a huge freaking tower there. So let's make it not 100.
Wow.
Still too huge. All right. 25.
That was not a Crystal Pepsi.
All right, that's more like it. So 10. So actually, I'm going to create a new empty game object. We're going to throw it in here. I'm going to copy the tower's. Actually, I'm going to copy the tower's location. So we're going to do copy component on the transform. We're going to put it on our new game object. So paste component values. And we're going to make the tower a child of it. Now, the reason I did all that copying and pasting is because Unity will automatically put this in the position I want it to be at 0, 0, 0. And now we're just going to put this up by, what, 50? 25? Okay, so 25 looks like the magic number. So now if we scale this object, you'll see that the tower grows from the bottom nicely. So
I'm going to email you a tower.
Okay, cool. And actually, I'm going to bring this thing in just so that it's on the plane because I think that will make it look like everything's right. So let's do 900 play. Okay, it looks like it's floating a little bit. Is it? Must be. It is. Oh, it's because this is at -5, so we want this probably to be at 20.
There you go. In a moment here.
There we go. So now we have a tower in the background. So, all right. So, oh yeah. Sparrow.
Email. YouTube. There it is.
All right. Looks like fish sausage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fish sausage. I know what that is.
I did not texture it.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and really quickly replace this ghetto tower already with our fancier tower. So, fish sausage tower. Not what I would have named it.
You can rename it if you want to.
Yep. I'm not going to rename it, but I'm going to create a prefab that's called Tower. as opposed to Ghetto Tower or Fish Sausage Tower. Fish Sausage Tower, that sounds wrong sometimes when you think about it.
You have
too
to
much.
make sure the import
Not that
settings
fish
are
have
correct.
that many sausages. So,
By the way.
oh yeah, thank you. So what we want in this thing? We want rig off,
Yeah, no rig.
apply,
No
animations off, apply,
And then model needs to have
one,
calculate normals.
calculate normals, apply. All right, you got done with this faster than I thought you were going to be
Yeah.
done with this. I didn't even get done with anything. Okay, so this thing is way
But
smaller.
what's cool about it is it has a hole in the center. I hope the normals are right. Ooh, I forgot to check that.
All right, let's try 50. I like pre-scaling in here. I'm not sure if it's a good best practice
Ooh, normals
or
are bad.
not. Oh, normals are bad? Oh, they are.
You keep working with it, I'll give you a new one
Okay.
with better normals.
All right, well, in that case, I'm going to... Yeah, I can keep working with this. This is not a problem.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem at all.
This is the problem with 3D modeling sometimes. If you don't recalculate your normals, bad things can happen.
Let's make it 30, somewhere in here. Apply, I just want big. Not real big. Alright, so, let's basically... Copy
Okay, I fixed the
components,
normals. I'll send you a new one.
Paste component values. And then we throw our tower into game object. We kill the ghetto tower.
Oh, poor Ghetto Tower.
And where's our... Oh, wait, what? Why? Oh. Huh.
I do not know.
What was the orientation it was in before? Okay, whatever. 0...
Negative 900.
That's what the other one was at. It's just,
Oh, that's its position.
Yeah.
It's the rotation that's the issue.
Yeah. There's no rotation on this, right? No, there's not. Okay.
It needs a parent object or something. That's
It don't need a parent.
well, it doesn't need a parent. Then.
And how did this... What happened? I don't even understand. All right. And now finally... Actually, I want this the other one. Negative 90. 42... 40...
All right.
And let's make it 35. I'll put it on there. Their scale's at 40, and this thing was actually, like, I guess 1 unit or something. So that worked out nicely.
All right.
I actually really like things that are 1 unit to start.
I do too.
So we've got our tower. This thing can now handle our scale, so that's cool. The tower, yeah, that's perfect. So we can start the tower off
There you go.
looking smaller, and what we can do is basically grow the tower as we get closer, and then it'll look like we're getting closer. Maybe it'll look right. How does that look?
There you
Yeah,
go.
we have that twist in it. We might not be able to do this little...
There's no twist in it.
Oh, there's no twist in it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that'll look fine. Let's do it for fun.
You have a new tower with fixed normals now.
Thank you. So let's get that real quick. Philip Wilson, tower. Oh, you just called it tower this time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to rename it Fish Sausage Tower.
Really? That's the old one. Where'd the new one go?
I don't know, and I'm going to drag it back in here again.
Okay.
Whatever. Okay, the reason why I want to name it that is just because I want to show you, because we haven't done this too often, I'm going
Okay.
to reveal in Finder here and just
Rename
this
that. Replace
to
it.
whatever. Oh, come on. No file name is not good enough for you? All right.
It's D now.
It's a D. All right. So now we replace it, replace, and hopefully it will just show up in scene fully formed and awesome. And it did.
And it did, yeah.
So-
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, and that's the reason we do the prefab thing, is because if we had done that, it's possible we could have lost scaling, it's
Yeah.
possible we could have lost a lot of different things. So that's nice for us.
That's pretty cool.
So we also have this little hole in the top. This is going to be used for our third level, which is going to be going it back down into the tower and destroying it. And so we have we have a setup here. So I'm going to go ahead and make it so the tower scales with time. We're just going to make it real simple and ghetto at first, and maybe we'll make more of a state management later. Scale over time. Let's call it that. And we will do public vector 3 goal scale. Public, let's do a private vector 3 initial scale. Do vector 3.1 here as a default, as opposed to 0. And let's make one more public variable, public float time. And we're going to make this, let's make it take 60 seconds for right now. So all this is going to do is, I'm just going to do this as using a coroutine. I think that'll be probably the most appropriate way to do this. So let's do I enumerator. We're going to call this scale over, well, we don't want to call it scale over time. Scale now. I'm just going to call it scale coroutine. Maybe I should start calling them coroutines when they're actually called coroutines.
I think that's a good idea.
So start coroutine, scale coroutine. And so in here, this is going to be pretty simple. We've done a lot of these before. Float t equals 0.0f. While t is less than time, we're going to set the game or transform dot scale. Guess we'll do local scale. That'll work well enough. Transform dot local scale. Why is there not?
It's kind
Yeah,
of
local scale is fine. Transform dot local scale equals vector 3 dot lerp. This is a linear interpolation. This basically means I've got two vectors that I want to move between, and it will move between them based on the time value. So we can do vector 3 from we're going to do initial scale, which we actually have to set elsewhere. I'm going to show you that in a second. We have it as a variable, we haven't set it. The goal scale, and the t is going to be t divided by time.
Sweet.
And finally, we're going to do t plus equals time dot delta time, and then we do a yield return null. What that means is when we get to this point, it lets the next frame happen, and then it comes back in here and does changes again, and then lets the next frame happen again.
It
So
just kind of repeats until the condition is
yeah.
true.
So, and then at the end here, we're going to set the transform.local scale explicitly to the goal scale so that we don't have any surprises by a partial frame overscaling it or underscaling it. Actually, it won't overscale, but it might underscale. Local scale. Actually, it probably would be fine without this, but I don't trust it.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Equals goal scale. Yes. And so all we have to do in the start here is get the initial scale, which is transform.local scale equals, whoops, we want that as the right-hand value. We want initial scale equals transform.local scale. So if we attach this to our tower, oh, we've got a problem here.
What does it not like?
Oh, probably because it wants this to actually.
Oh, yeah, you always have to.
No, that calls it. We don't want that either. Oh,
No,
maybe
we do.
We do?
Yep.
Weird.
I think.
I don't like it. I'm gonna use the string version.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that works, though. We should check it to
All
see
right.
if it does work, actually.
All right, you want to try it
That would
the
be
other
a
way?
good test,
It doesn't
yeah.
seem like it's going to work.
But what if it does?
All right, if it does, it'll scare me. All right, well, might work. So let's give it a shot. We're gonna throw this on our game object. So this is gonna be tower parent
The tower does have a parent.
and goal scale. Let's make this 50 in the Y.
Look at that, it's working.
It is working.
I think it's growing rather rapidly.
Yeah, it's growing way too fast. So, so we only wanted this to grow. Let's see what 10 looks like, and actually, let's make the time short so we see how it works. So 5 seconds. I'm really lazy, really impatient.
There it goes.
And does it stop? It
There it
stops.
goes, it
Perfect.
stopped.
Worked perfectly. So that does work.
Yeah, it's pretty
so
neat.
weird.
Yeah, I think that's how I usually
Oh
call
yeah,
it
that's because
coroutines.
I see how that works. I see how
Yeah.
that works. Okay,
It's
just
calling the function.
that makes me feel really uncomfortable. I think you understand why.
Mhm.
Let's do 8. See how that looks as far as tallness. We wanted to extend past the view, but
But not too far past.
it does look like it's scaling versus coming in. Definitely,
I think if
it'll be less obvious when it's slower. Yeah, 8 looks like a probably pretty good value. Let's make it 60 seconds and see how that looks. Actually, that kind of looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
So we have our first portion of the game, and then we go towards the tower, and then we'll deal with our second portion of the game starting now-ish, I guess. So there's a tower. There's our setup for the level 1. It's a rando game still right now, but you could definitely design a level even with the framework that we already had by just placing objects in the 3 space.
Correct.
And so yeah, that's kind of cool. So we got a.
It's kind of cool.
I actually really like that. I need anti-aliasing.
Can we do that?
We actually can, but I'm not going to turn it on.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I will. In case you want anti-aliasing, it's in project settings, quality, and I think we need to like turn it on here somewhere. So if we go to
Where is it?
anti-aliasing, there we go. 8 times multi-sampling, and look, way better looking.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it also
Yeah,
cut my frame rate considerably, but yeah, it solves that aliasing problem nicely.
Yeah, anti-aliasing. I mean, you're going over multiple passes of the screen.
I'm going to turn it back off just because I'm recording a video, and honestly,
Yes.
I don't want to have too much extra performance going on. So we have the tower. We should make it less white at some point, but let's not work on that just yet. So let's think about level 2. So level 2, we're going to be going up the tower. I'm going to mock it up in kind of a separate level right now, and then we'll kind of merge it in later. So let's go ahead and save what we have for our scene and create a new scene, and then we're going to be really scared as there's nothing in it, and we're like, oh no, it's all from scratch again. So,
But we have all of our prefabs.
yes, but we do have all our prefabs. Actually, let's double check that right now. Open scene. I just want to make sure that all of our prefabs that we have. Oh, we have these enemies we didn't do anything with.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
I totally forgot about the enemies. We'll touch the enemies later. We'll touch on them later. So we don't have a whole lot of prefabs, do we?
No, not a ton.
So this should probably be a whole prefab here, even though it's got a tower in it. I hate that there's no such thing as nested prefabs in Unity yet. Supposedly it's coming, but that has been supposed for a while, so I don't know if that actually means anything at this point. Gameplay plane. All right, let's just make prefabs of the things underneath it. Ship. We don't need the arch spawners. We definitely need the main camera. Although, is there anything special about the main camera? Camera follow ship. Yeah. We want this. Screw it. I'm just getting the whole gameplay plane in here.
All right, fair enough.
Just
Always just take what you don't need.
apply. Yeah. And yeah. So we'll save this. Save scene. Save project. Material effects is how we're doing the scrolling, right? Oh, material. This is how we're doing so we need this as well. And might as well get the score manager in here, and our directional light, we can just add whatever. I don't even think we reconfigured where it's pointed because we usually don't do that. So, new scene, now that we've done all of that little cleanup work. So let's just grab our gameplay plane and throw it in here. So we're back to where we started, and we're going to get rid of the tower in here. Actually, going to create a separate prefab of the tower. And we're going to delete it from here. And then I'm going to revert this back. Oh, wait, I don't want to revert that. Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we don't care about the prefab connection. And I want to actually really break it. Can I break it completely? No, it's not. Why is this still here when it's broken?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's cool that you can go back to it, but that's frustrating sometimes. All right, whatever. So, arch spawner, we don't need that. We don't need that. We're going to have similar things to it. And let's just build it on its... let's build it vertically just so that we know that it works vertically so that we don't have any surprises when we merge it with the other one. So, I'm going to get rid of the plane because we don't need this. We're going to take our gameplay plane and turn it 90 degrees up, which I think is X rotation, right? And we want negative 90, it looks like. So now we're staring at the sky. And if I hit play right now, it should still work. We should still have... Oh, wait.
It's probably...
Oh, there's another main camera. Get rid of that.
Well, there it goes. It's just flying off into the distance.
Huh, why did that happen? Null reference exception. What happened? Score manager. Oh, we need a score manager. We need material effects. And we hit play. So now we have that thing. Why is it flying away from me? Inspector. Make sure this is the right transform that it's trying to follow. That's weird. So what does the ship do? Ship move.
Well, look at the camera movement ratios, only looking at X and Y.
Well, I that was intentional. That was the whole point of the thing.
Oh,
X and Y.
Mm-hmm. It's not.
Oh, and we're not in X and Y anymore.
Nope.
All right, let's take a look at our camera follow script. So, yep, we're just directly doing... Alright. Camera follow XY. XY. There's probably a way I could do this with an enum that would make some amount of sense, but I'm doing it this way just because I don't want to deal with that enum right now. So, so we want Z and X, right? Yeah, ZX, yeah, ZX.
Correct, yes.
Oh, wait, we're going to be rotating around it too. We're going to need a whole new camera follow script.
Yeah.
Actually, we may not even want a camera follow script, so I'm actually undoing all of that. I'm going to keep that, whatever, because that's what it is. So, so yeah, let's rethink how we do the camera follow. Let's not camera follow. Let's remove component. Let's do it the old school way and put this as a child of the ship. Oh, wait, not as a child of the ship. That's not what we want. We want as a child of the gameplay plane. Wait, we already had that. Oh, there we go. Why is it rotating the opposite direction than I expect it to rotate now?
I have no clue.
And see, this is the problem with doing things on a different plane. And that's why we wanted to do it this way, right? So that we could learn.
That's right.
So we're getting weird rotation. So let's see why we're getting that. So probably because we're making some assumption about the way we rotate this thing. That would be my guess. Let's look at what our bank code looks like. So get access bank, and yeah, it's just applying to the Z. So Enum, we could enum it with Z. Is there a way we could do this with a change the way our rotation works so it works in a general sense? Let's try it. Let's try it. So we want to modify the rotation. We don't want to over rotate. Okay, screw it. We're going to do what we were doing before the other thing. Banksy. It's Banksy.
Banksy.
All right. Duplicate. Bank Y. So, boop. And let's throw this on our jet and get rid of the bank Z. And then if we hit play, oh god.
Compiler.
Oh, it's because I didn't change this to say Y.
Oh.
Missed one.
Well, that's not banking.
And that's gimbal lock.
Fun times.
That's what gimbal lock looks like, everyone, just so you know. Because if we were to rotate this like to 90 degrees and then rotate this, it doesn't do anything anyway. Wait, what is it? What are you doing?
I guess that's the real question, isn't it? It's trying to rotate, though. You see the rotation values?
I see the rotation values changing. So if I rotate this whole thing to 0, I hit play. Still nothing.
Still not working. That's very odd.
What's odd is that the values are changing over there, and yet...
Nothing's actually rotating?
Yeah. Alright, whatever. I'm going to get rid of the banking for right now on this level.
Alright.
And we're going to save, and, oh yeah, let's call this scene. So this is going to be level 2 mock-up. So what we're going to do instead, so what I want to do is actually fly around the tower. So the tower is going to be underneath our butts. So let's put the tower in here. Bam. And we probably don't need the tower parent anymore, but that'll be fine. So where is the tower? Where's my plane? That's at 0, 0, 0. That's good. Let's put this at 0, 0, 0. There it is. And where's our plane? Our plane's facing that direction, so we need to rotate it. Wait. Why? Tower? Oh, there we go. So now if we hit 0 on this, that should be perfect. There we go. So we're inside this thing right now. We don't want to be inside of it, even though we can be inside of it. It's designed to be inside of it.
Yes.
So where's the gameplay plane? There it is. I have to move that up. So 0, 0, 0, and Oh, it's because I moved this up 3. Wow, that was stupid of me. All right, so 0, 0, 0.
It should be right in the
All right,
center.
so it is right in the center. So now let's bring it to the outside. So we're going to bring the Y up to 20, 30, 40. This is actually going to look kind of cool, I think. Maybe.
I hope so.
So let's make the tower parent. We don't need the scale over time anymore. I'm going to remove that, and I'm just going to bring it up to the 8 scale so that we have some. Oh, whoops, wrong axis.
8.
Scale 8. No, one of these. Trial and error. If you don't find it the first time, just keep looking.
Just keep trying.
And we're going to do a similar trick that we did with the other one so that we can make the level actually as long as we want it. So we're going to do kind of the same spiel. So we definitely need a directional light. That'll help. And
Oh, wow.
so I'm going to bring the plane just a little bit closer. Let's just do 40. I think 40 is... Oh, that's... Okay, 45.
That might be a little close.
45. Alright, that looks good. So what we're going to be doing now is instead of traveling on a single level, we're going to now rotate around the tower. And there's a couple ways we could do this. We could either rotate the tower, or we could rotate our plane around it. I think it'll actually be safer to rotate the tower.
I would agree.
So let's approach it from that direction. And so let's first put the tower actually into the gameplay plane so that we now have it now follows along with us. We need to have some sense of movement, so we'll figure that out in a bit here, but because there's a lot of different ways we can trick a human into thinking that we're moving forward. So let's get the rotating thing working. So let's do a script. You know, I'm actually going to rotate the player around it. I am going to do it.
You're just going to go ahead and rotate
so
the player.
I'm going to create a new. So gameplay plane doesn't make as much sense anymore, does it? Gameplay plane. So I'm going to pull all of these out of the gameplay plane.
Okay.
I'm going to temporarily put them in another. This is going to seem really dumb. I'm going to temporarily put them in another game object just so that they stay together. So we're going to throw it in there. We're going to lose the prefab. Who cares? We already lost the prefab once earlier anyway. I don't know. I'm not even going to comment on that.
Yeah.
We're going to put this at 0. Oh, I guess we could just parent it to the tower.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to do that. Yeah, we don't want to do that. So now we're going to parent these objects back into the gameplay plane. And so the reason we've done this is now if we rotate the gameplay plane... Whoops. Oops. And actually this is not going to work. So that's actually what we want, but we don't want it to rotate with the tower. Okay, never mind. We're going back with the original idea and we're rotating the tower. So, just going to undo back to where we were at. There we go. Get rid of this erroneous extra game object thing that we need. And so the tower is going to rotate. So we're going to create a new C# script called rotate
Tower?
Rotate tower. Yeah, why not? We'll be specific to tower, even though this will work in a generic sense, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
So we're going to do a public, PUH, I like that. Public float rotation speed. We'll just default this to
Oh,
10. Let's do 10.0f. 0.0f, not OF, like I actually typed. And we're going to just on update. Transform.rotate around vector transform.forward axis angle would be rotation speed times time.delta time. And we also need to actually put in our, so it would be input.get axis horizontal. I had a lot of trouble with that word, evidently. Almost got me on the 3-minute game. So let's give this a shot. Oh, compiler errors. There's something that people don't like.
Yeah, compiler errors are always bad.
Okay, transform.rotate around. What is it? Axis angle. I gave it an axis. Oh, I have an extra comma here. I want to multiply there. And one more. Unexpected symbol. Where?
Where's the
Period.
answer?
Expecting something else.
It's probably.
Oh.
All right.
All right. So hit play. And it won't do anything because we haven't attached it anywhere. So put rotate tower into
The tower.
The tower.
Whoa there.
Okay, it's working.
Wow.
So
look at it go.
obviously it's using radians. So let's multiply in the. So I like to put time.delta time last. So let's do mathf dot rad to deg. And now we should see something more. Oh,
Wow.
okay, that's even worse.
That's even worse.
Deg to rad.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that looks like about 10 degrees a second, right?
Yeah.
Or is that really small? Here, let's find out.
Pretty.
With a tower inspector. So 1001. Yeah, that's 10 degrees a second. So that's exactly how we want it to be. So that's right. So obviously we don't need the plane to be moving left and right anymore. So we need to change its script around a little bit here. So what we're going to do is ship movement. We're going to have to make some modifications here. So movement speed. So this has. So I'm going to change the float movement speed to a vector 2 movement speed. And we're going to call it equals vector 2.1. I'm just going to hit save. And so I'm going to show you how to this saves a lot of time. Phil taught me this one. If you hit Command B here, you can actually build in here, and you'll see all the errors just right here.
Yes.
And it's useful if you're making a lot of changes to code, like if you're refactoring, it's really useful for finding all your little problems. So here we have movement speed is being used. It's like it can't be applied to this. What are you trying to pull? And so we want so direction. Wait, how are we doing this? Final direction. Okay, that's what we're That's what we're looking at. Wait, direction times movement speed. So what did we even do here?
I have no idea.
What is this? Who wrote this? Who in the world wrote this? I guess it was me.
Yeah, that's.
More than likely. So we're getting the direction.
I'll tell you if I
direction.
open
Oh,
up.
we're already on. Okay, so that's why. So we have separate x, y. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put the movement speed, multiply it into here. This will be clever. Movement speed dot x and times movement speed dot y. And then we don't need this anymore. So if we hit save, hit build, all that goes away. Come back in here, hit play. And so we can move up and down. It's really slow because we had set this to something different. So I think we want the y to still be 2, and the x we're going to set to 0. And so now if we move up and down, it's kind of what we expected, and we rotate, we actually rotate. Now we're not banking right now. It would actually sell it a lot better if the plane was banking. So we'll fix that. We'll fix that in a bit. We may have to actually fix that on the next episode. So what we're going to be doing on the next episode is basically we'll have some towers that you have to dodge, kind of spiking out of the thing, and it'll kind of be a moving left-right dodging type thing. And maybe have some enemies that you have to shoot at because it'll be interesting to have the locked perspective.
With the enemies, yeah.
And then at the end of this, we're going to go into the tower, and we're going to make a third level and our boss. And I want to do this, so we're gonna continue pushing through this. We may occasionally have breaks for other projects. I think that's going to be more of the norm for the longer projects. We're going to have longer projects at some point.
Yes.
And this is going to be one of the longer ones, so we may break it up a little bit. So thank you for joining us tonight. It was excellent doing this. Yeah. Big announcement. So you've seen that we have the new YouTube layout, and so we have things a little bit organized differently now. And I think it's organized for the better. You can actually get to different projects and stuff. But more importantly, we actually have been approved for live streaming. We haven't been live since Justin.tv, and we're super excited about it. We are so excited. And we actually may have enough people to actually have an audience now, so we'll actually be scared and just terrified on this end. We're gonna have so many eyes looking at us. So we're aiming to do that next week. Next week is gonna be our first live episode in a while, which means that forgive our dusts. Under construction,
seriously,
it might go awful. We probably are not even going to do Star Fox just specifically so that if it goes so bad that we have to run to Mexico, we can do that. So without ruining the Star Fox game.
That would be beneficial.
It would be sad to just lose an episode of work on this because our work feels painful when you lose it. So so thank you for joining us tonight. Buy Automation, which is an awesome game by Proto Softworks, also known as Phil's Awesome Company.
Yeah, thank you. And you should buy Pushy Pixels. Or buy Pushy Pixels. Buy Proton. Buy Pushy Pixels, actually. Have you played Pushy Pixels on the iPhone or iPad? It's pretty awesome. It's like a little toy with pixels. You need to play it.
I had a lot of fun making it.
Also, buy Proton Pulse. Like, seriously, buy Proton Pulse.
And, emails. I skipped over that completely.
That was
so, pushypixels at pushypixels.com for me, and
Philip at Protosoftworks for me.
And at Drakfire for that Twitter thing.
And follow me on Twitter at the Magma Lemur. Not the Magma Lemur, it's actually at Magma Lemur.
Okay, don't register the Magma Lemur, it'll make us upset.
I'm going to get on Twitter and register the
You better do that quickly, because someone's going to do it now.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, and you have a great week.
Have a good night.
Hope to see you live next Monday at 8:30.
We'll do it live.